Welcome to Sally Melodies classroom, where we learn basic music, cadences. This is a new topic that I would like us to look at, and this is lesson 1. We first learn what a cadence is. This is the end of a phrase or a phrase where you put a pause in a piece of music. Again, this is the end of a phrase or a place where you put a pause in a piece of music. Remember, you cannot sing all through without putting a pause in a piece of music, or every phrase must have an end. But we have rules and regulations when it comes to cadences. We have imperfect cadence and we have perfect cadence, but we have examples, or we have types of imperfect cadence and we have types of perfect cadence. But in this lesson, let us look at the two categories first. So when we talk about an imperfect cadence, which is also called half cadence or semi-cadence, it has 3 names. You can come across these 3 names in an exam or in other books. So imperfect cadence is also called half cadence or semi-cadence. And when you hear about semi-cadence or half cadence, just know that it is something that is not complete. Half or semi means that thing is not complete. So in simple terms, we say that this type of cadence is incomplete and it calls for continuation. This type of cadence is incomplete and calls for continuation. You have sung a song and then there is a comma, and that is why I have given an example of a comma. In English, we use comma to show that the sentence is not complete. You need to continue until you get to the full stop. So when you put a full stop in English, it means that that is the end of a phrase or the end of a passage. So that is what we mean. So I have put a comma here and a full stop, which are used in grammar or English to illustrate what we mean when we say imperfect and perfect. So when we come to perfect cadence, this cadence sounds as though the music or the music section has come to an end. This cadence sounds as though the music or the music section has come to an end. So at least we have an idea of what we mean. You have sung a song and then you have put a pause somewhere like a comma. That is imperfect cadence. And then as you continue, you have put a full stop. You have come to the end of that section. Maybe it is an end of a chorus where a chorus has ended, so that in the next section you are going to start something new, maybe a stanza. At some point, we talk about question, answer. At some point, you are asking a question and then you need an answer. So when you ask a question, you cannot leave that question hanging. You cannot leave that question unanswered. It needs an answer. So when we talk about a question, maybe we are talking about an imperfect cadence. And when you complete, now you have answered the perfect cadence. So down here, I have noted something. NB, the cadences or the cadences are determined by movement of chords. The cadences are determined by the movement of chords. When we talk about movement of chords or the chords progressions, we mean that when you listen to that kind of music, it will tell you that that music is not at the end. That music has not ended. It needs continuation depending on how we are going to put the chords. So for the movement of chords, we are going to look at it in the next lesson, whereby we are going to see under imperfect cadence and under perfect cadence, what cadences do we have there? The examples of those cadences, they are there, we have them. But in this lesson 1, it was only an introduction to get what we mean by cadences. Once you get the concept, once you get an idea, once you get the definition, then when we start giving examples and doing some workout, it's gonna be easy for you. Thank you very much for joining this class. See you in the next class.